Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, huge round of applause for Mr. Barun Das, MD and
Give
CEO
a roaring,
of the
roaring,
TV9
hello.
Network. All right, good morning, or we're almost there, but good afternoon, Barun. Fantastic to have you here. How do you feel first, before anything else, the energy in the room?
Well, I felt that I was living for it, for this occasion, where you see so many kids under one roof, and you're part of that huge initiative which is supported by these kids, not only here, but being here is just, it took me back some 45 years when I was of their age, and aspiring to be a footballer at some point in time. So I'm reliving my dream.
You're turning back the clock, aren't you? Okay, before we go any further, it's curious, isn't it? As the man who helms the TV9 network, tell us, what is this beautiful relationship between the TV9 network and the beautiful game of football?
Well, you know what? We should not talk very serious stuff because the 1,000 kids will get bored. They won't understand for what we're talking. But since you asked this question, I'll tell you. The news network works as a social catalyst. So we are supposed to be involved and contributing anything which is good for the society and the country. And I feel football is one, or sports is one instrument with which India's brand imagery can be enhanced and developed across the world. As you know that India is making its ascent to the global head table, and football is one thing which can help the cause. And I think where we started at some point in time during the golden age of football, Indian football, we almost reached there. But then we have slid down from there. So if we can act as a catalyst for popularity of football and for India's ascendancy in football ranking in the world, that would be a great contribution that a news network, the largest news network of a country, can make.
Fascinating. Ashik?
When we have, football comes in, I have personally experienced with your footballing skin in last Corporate Cup. You know this person has scored a goal after 30 years? You don't know? He has it. Give a big hand for that!
No. That was not 30 years, 33 years.
33.
But the thing is that I had all fat people around me. We were very willing to fall apart, fall down. So it was not a goal that I would like to remember. But nonetheless, I'm thinking of starting the game again. And then let's see if I can score such goals again.
And the fantastic concept of Indian Tigers and Tigresses across India, it is one of the largest, biggest network of news network. And also we are going to host one of the biggest footballing hunt in the world. When the idea comes in your mind, what is your feeling or your take about it?
No, the idea, obviously, Kaushik, I would give the credit of the ideas to you.
No.
Because as you know that you come up with ideas, then I'll have to filter from about 100 of them to pick up one or two. So this is one of the greatest ideas that you have brought on the table. Congratulations to you. And I believe that I immediately had clinged on to the idea because one thing which is not, which will never be a dearth of in India is number. So even if you are talking about talented footballer, I'm sure there's 20 lying somewhere there in the country. If you can identify them, maybe India would be, India would be playing the next World Cup. So I think we'll have to go to the nook and corners of our country and identify these talents, give them the right infrastructure, training, which Indian Football Institute will give in Munden, Gerhard and his team. So if we can give that exposure to the kids, I think the dream, the great Indian football dream, would soon be a reality. So that's why this hunt of tigers and tigresses.
And the important thing you always cherished, you always said about empowering women in India and all the global diaspora. So how do you encourage this? Because you have taken initiative also with the Tigresses. This is really a great thing to all. What do you feel is empowering women in the football diaspora?
Okay, women always find a mention in anything that I said ever, because I believe that as a country, or even as a society, if you are not leveraging 50% of your strength, which according to me is a stronger half, and if you are not leveraging that, we would never prosper, we would never reach our dream, never reach our destiny, which I think as a country we've taken cognizance of the fact, and in all aspects of our life, that we are making sure women's participation is as much as men's. And if you talk about football, that showcases that the Indian football women team ranks far higher than the men's team. And so therefore, sports is an expression of empowerment. And even if the men's team can't play the World Cup football, if the women's team can play, that will be of greater pride for me.
Wow, huge round of applause for that. How about the Indian women football team playing the World Cup before the men's football team? What a dream, Barun, that would be. But tell us, I wanted to get back to you on football. You've been playing football since school, college. If somebody looks at you like you're the MD and CEO of India's largest network. So you've been with that football in your hand for a very long time. And all the way, after helming the largest network, you organize the corporate cup as well. So this is the TV9 corporate cup as well. So it is a deep relationship you have with football, isn't it, Barun?
Yes, football, according to me, if you ask me to choose a game which is king of all games, it'll definitely be football. I don't think that any other games matches up to the level of football in terms of skills, stamina, endurance, sportsmanship. So it's a game of games. And yes, Corporate Cup, we started last year. Corporate Cup, why we started that, while it is an effort from all corners of the country, from all aspects of the decision-making hierarchies, to focus on football, corporate is one important unit, where if you can involve them, our cause would be accelerated. So therefore, we started this Corporate Cup last year, and I think that this year, we would be making it bigger.
Clearly, your relationship with football is so much that it's not just about organizing Corporate Cup. It's about interviewing people as well, isn't it? I mean, in your fantastic show called Duologue, you had the chance, or rather, Mr. Oliver Kahn had the chance to have a conversation with you, and you had a chance to have a conversation with him. So, boys and girls, first let's take a look at Mr. Barun Das in conversation with Mr. Oliver Kahn, the legendary footballer, on Duologue. Take a look.
The football is mother of all games.
It is a team sport.
The leadership attitude is taking the ownership.
It's always a big responsibility to take decisions, and the right decisions.
I always question the stereotypical.
And that's why you are in that position.
That's right, Mr. Oliver Kahn. Huge round of applause for Oliver Kahn from Deutschland. Barun, that must have been fascinating. Strategist as a man who leads a football team, strategist as a man who leads the largest network in India. What was that like?
It was brilliant talking to him, and I made a confession on the set that while I usually talk to legends or legends in the making, but for once I felt overwhelmed when I met Mr. Oliver Kahn, because we grew up watching him saving the goals. I remember this World Cup finals while he lost, despite winning the golden ball, the only goalkeeper who's won the golden ball ever in World Cup history. So it was unmatched. I mean, I get goosebumps when I think about talking to him.
I just to add on this thing, when after the Oliver conversation with the duologue, Oliver personally told to me, Kaushik, I met a person and never met this kind of intelligent and such a person like me. I am talking to another Oliver Kahn in India.
Well, you know what? Good point you make there, Kaushik. Because this did not end up being the kind of interview that you think. Mr. Oliver Kahn had questions for Mr. Barun Das back in the middle of the conversation. Can we take a look at what Mr. Oliver Kahn had to ask Mr. Barun Das?
There are a lot of similarities. Between Barun Das and Oliver Kahn, that there are a lot of similarities between sport and business. And I also like this format. This format that is not only question and answer. So we had a really relaxing conversation, and I felt very comfortable. And yes, hopefully we can repeat it again in the near future.
Yeah, that's a very important thing that he mentioned. There's a lot of similarities between management and football. The only thing is, in management, you often get time to go back to your boardroom and strategize. In football, you have to strategize on the second, on the go. So that's the only difference. So football is far more strategically enriched situation, I would say, compared to management boardroom.
You know, in that interview, Barun, he was asking you, you know, when did you think of becoming a CEO? You know, and your answer was fascinating. You know, did you always want to be a CEO? Did you want to be a footballer at any time? And then you said that, no, I wanted to be a CEO a long time ago. Can you talk to us about that?
No. He said that when did you start thinking about being a CEO? I said, during my management days, I started thinking that I'm good enough to be a CEO, but unfortunately, there were no second taker for it. I was the only one who believed it. Right.
I just have one, it's a little emotional question for me to you. You grew up with football. You have a passion for football. This footballing temperament to not give away for fighting, this will at some point help you to become you were the largest and successful CEO of the country.
Oh, that's we should wind up this because if any kid is hearing, it is important for them. I think I always believe the two things that one, the winner is first born in the mind. I have personally seen whatever level that I've played, if you are going to the ground, if you're going to a badminton court thinking that I'm going to fight, you might at the most fight. But if you hit the ground thinking that I'm going to win, that is where the game is half won. And the other lesson that I believe that till the time you quit, you have never lost. So don't quit. Keep fighting. You'll never lose.
So football is giving you an instinct to sports to become a most successful CEO of the country. And also, I never let you down. Well, let you go without saying that expectation theory for the kids. But this is important.
They're not listening.
No, they're listening.
No, they're not.
This is the word you remember our Tiger and Tigress from him. It's a very one word which is a change in life to all of us from 8 to 80.
No, if you want me to say one line which will change the lives of 8 to 18, I would only say that focus on what you love to do. Don't do harm to anyone. Be constructive. Live and let live. That's all.
Okay. Huge round of applause for that message. Be constructive. Don't do harm. Live and let live.
Okay, all right. Now that he's insisting to say, I'll say, which is another, if any one of you hearing, it is important for you. I believe that, I always believe that happiness is a choice. And I can mathematically prove it. The mathematical proof of that is happiness is the difference between your expectation and the real outcome. If your expectations is 10 and the real outcome is 8, you're not happy. If you're expecting a grade A and you get B, you're not happy. But if you're expecting grade C and get B, you're happy. So manage your expectations and give your best. So that's about it.
All right. Huge round of applause for Mr. Barun Das, MD and CEO of the TV9 Network. Barun, thank you so much for being with us and also, telling us all those messages. All the Tigers and Tigresses who will become Tigers and Tigresses, I'm going to request you to please stay on stage.
And of course, I must express my gratitude to DPS Greater Noida and Madam Principal for hosting us. It's a great experience. We never thought so. You've got a great school, great students, and we're happy to be here. And thank you very much.
Yes, wonderful.
Your one message for the Tigers and Tigers coming 3 months. They will roaring for the roaring. They're imprint in Europe.
Tigers and Tigresses, they're born to roar.
Yeah.
So they'll be roaring in the world arena.
So please roar.
Tigers and Tigresses,
roar! Oh! Oh! Who would like to be a Messi or Ronaldo?
Requesting Mr. Barun Das to please stay on stage. Please stay on stage as we invite all the big exemplaries who are there today for the stage. We have presentation to be done with Mr. Barundas on stage as well. I'm going to request Mr. K. Damols to please come on stage first. He has brought with him something all the way from Germany as a token of appreciation, a gift. Okay, please go ahead and present that jersey to Mr. Barundas. And can you tell us more about this?
Yes. Hello, everyone. This is the match-worn jersey from the World Cup Qatar from Leon Goretzka against Japan. Unluckily, the tournament didn't go our way, but for the Euro 2024, we have very, very high spirits. This is for Barun.